Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Mark.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back, and we have some breaking news for you today, and obviously not from the world of F1, but as we do cover the feeder series now on the channel, it is some F2 breaking news, and that is the breaking news that Hitech GP will be participating in Formula 2 next year, becoming the 11th team... this year, becoming the 11th team on the 2020 grid, meaning that the drivers competing in F2 will stretch to 22 teams. So we are just going to give our initial thoughts. And Mark, what are your initial thoughts on this?
My initial thoughts is I bet Trident's Relief they won't be last in the championship standings for once.
It's going to be tough. I agree. And because coming in so last minute, obviously they missed the end of year testing at Abu Dhabi. But how they've said it in the story is they wanted to jump in this year. They realised it's going to be a challenge. But because obviously the switch to the 18-inch profile tyres have come in for the 2020 season, they didn't want to be a further year behind teams in that data for next season, so they thought they were better off jumping in this year, and it is easier to make up the ground in a spec series. And obviously last season they powered a Yuri Vips to 4th in the F3 championship, didn't they?
They did. And I think saying they'll finish last is a bit cruel. I mean, we don't know how long they've actually had this in the plans. For all we know, this could have been from midway last year, just getting all the facilities, all the team members. So they may not be last, but I just can't see them being a challenger to ART, Prema and Uni.
It would be unlikely as of yet, as they kind of find their feet in F2, but it was heavily rumoured around the end of the season, I believe, around the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But yeah, they finally made the plunge and the jump into it. And the other interesting thing, obviously, last Friday we did our F2 ones to watch video, and they haven't announced the drivers, but the driver's been linked to the seat. Very interesting. So one is Nick Mazepin, obviously, who was for ART last year. So your initial thought on maybe him coming into the seat, Mark?
Thoughts on Nikita Mazepin. He's... trying to figure out a word to describe him. It's tough. Really. I mean, I wouldn't call him a challenger at all. He's young. He's young enough to maybe be in it, but I could be wrong. But hasn't he been linked to Racing Point?
I believe he has. I'm not sure on that one, but I think you are right on that. But obviously with Nikita, he was at one of the major teams last year in ART, so this would be almost a step down again to maybe look at a step up in the future. But he was solid last year.
Was he solid?
Well, I think he was made to look worse by how well Nick De Vries did. And Nick De Vries was obviously a very experienced teammate at that point.
It was, but the ART car is normally very good, and not to even be able to get on the podium.
Yeah. But he's...
I mean, for all we know, he could pull something similar to what Mick Schumacher does, because he was fairly good in GP3.
Yeah.
The previous year. That's what I will say. So he's not top 10 in the title for me.
No, but it's certainly interesting that he might have another opportunity of continuing within F2, obviously currently competing in the F3 Asia Series, which I think also Hitech power cars in as well. So another driver that is linked with the seat, and I believe he was a strong favourite, is Serge Aurier, obviously with Dams previously, not driving with them this year, the McLaren Junior. Now, he obviously had a pretty good year last year, not the best, not everything quite went his way, but he certainly is a talented young driver, and coming back into F2, you certainly wouldn't rule him out of the top 9, even with Hitech.
No, you wouldn't. He's solid, he's good, but the top 9, top 10, with some of the other drivers not officially announced but looking strong. Main example, your Lundgaards and a few other F2 mainstays. It's just it will be tough for him to break into that top 10 with a new team.
It will do, but he certainly has the experience and the ability to. So you'd probably favour.
I'm not knocking his ability, experience, or skill. It's just a matter of his opponent's skill, team, and with some of them, their experience too.
Exactly. And then the last name linked with the seat that I saw with this announcement was Luca Ghiotto. He obviously announced that he would be pulling out of single-seater racing. But yeah, this would be a shock return if he was secured. And for me, regardless of it being a new team, with his experience that he has in F2, he definitely, for me, would be a contender in that top 9.
Oh, I don't see him. I mean, no team's picked him up, which I think he was hoping for at the end of it. So he's like, I'll leave single seater. I'm not going to get to F1. I'll go to sports car.
I think the main thing for me with Ghiotto would be funding. I think he just ran out of funding, and he wasn't backed by any F1 academies, and he knew that he had to try and win last year, and he came third in the end, didn't he? So
yes, he's got a good GP team now. I can't remember. I think it's a GP3.
I think it's.
Is it?
Yes.
Or is it GP2?
I think it's GP2 actually.
GP2. He's got a good GP2 team, and he's now getting paid to race cars, and he's got somewhere. I don't see him coming back to F2.
It would be a shock, and I don't know if this is just kind of a name that was just thrown in to kind of almost get people interested, but it certainly would be interesting. But I think the biggest thing from this news for me is it's quite good because it, like F3, is allowing more of those young drivers a seat within Formula 2 to show off their talents. And even if Hitech take a season or two to find their feet, they are definitely a team with the infrastructure who can compete competitively within F2 in the future, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it's going to bring a lot to new drivers that come. I mean, for me, seeing Hitech confirmed, it's just making me think it's more and more likely that Vips will split his time between the two series. Because they barely ever clash.
Yeah, and obviously, like we said, they powered him to 4th place in F3 last year, so he already has that connection and link with the Hitech GP team.
I mean, if I was to pick a team right now, I'd say Mazepin full time, Sete Camera and Vips splitting seat time, because I think Sergio is going to end up in IndyCar.
Yeah,
so I think he'll be doing both.
IndyCar is where he's been linked with. So yeah, it was just very interesting. On that, I think that probably covers it as breaking news for what we heard. It'd be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below on what you think of, obviously, the potential 2 more seats for 2 young drivers to go in. As you follow the feeder series a little bit more closely, thoughts on Hitech as a team joining? Are you excited for them to join in? Obviously, if you are new around here, don't forget you can subscribe to the channel, because me and Mark obviously cover the feeder series every Friday in general, and we'll be covering the F2 and F3 races throughout the season, so that will be exciting for you guys. So yeah, but we just thought, bit of major news, a whole new team coming into F2, so we thought we'd share it with you and break it with you on this Monday afternoon, or morning, depending on when I can get this out. But yes, for now, UF1 fans, keep racing.